So what's up? So I watched Bomb First with Reggie Wright Jr. and it was an old episode, but it's still relevant. It was about the real reason why Shaquille O'Neal left LA. And yeah, he had friction with Kobe and stuff, but that wasn't the real. It had to do with the Main Street gang because allegedly there was a video with Shaq's ex-wife and one of the cats. And it was a video and it was a lot going on. And then the way it was because of the association, they was worried about a potential indictment. Now, the reason why I bring this up, you see a lot of athletes and entertainers. I remember Ice-T was talking about this a while ago. He says when you go to LA, you got to check in. And I thought it was absurd, but they have certain rules about how they be watching and pat. They will pat your pockets and they will pat your pockets if you don't know the game. And if you go in there unassuming and you come in at blue, they have code of codes. Now, the reality is Shaq was throwing up signs and they were talking about Reggie was talking about 97, 98. If a woman was driving a Ford Explorer, that's because she was messing with Shaq. That was a sign. Shaq was pretty predictable. 96, 97. He was hanging around certain folks. Twism, Ruckus, the world is mine. He was trying to take on that Tony Montana persona. I remember when he hung with DJ Quick, he was hanging around a lot of cats in LA. So that's not too far fetched because there's a lot of street cats. And you know that with everything from Death Row Ruckers and onward, a lot of cats infiltrated into the business. Just saying. You see the culture openly. Now that doesn't mean that everybody associated is all banging and stuff, but it's associated. So it's a lot going on. So when Reggie Wright Jr., when he was talking about on Bomb First about Shaq, while he got ran out and he broke down the details, they had indictment, they had all the stuff. They didn't go after Shaq because of who he was, and then of course all the politics involved. Now, I did videos where I've said this before and I'm gonna say this again. David Stern, to Adam Silver, they cover they superstar. Usually. This thing with Kawhi Leonard may be a little bit different, but we'll see how that play out. But usually there's things that you never gonna hear. And I do go back to what Kobe did say. He snitched, but he did say in the department, the thing Colorado said I should have done like Shaq and paid the women off, pay the women off like he do. Everybody know. It's just a matter of what you gonna say. So you gotta be cool with what you say. But um, it was on Bomb First. Reggie Wright Jr. did about the reason why Shaq really got ran out. It's believable. It's very believable. But much as him and Kobe, they had success. But you gotta believe there had to have been something else that was going on with that, not just because of that. I think Shaq was more stunned about getting traded out of Miami than he was out of LA. But there's a lot of politics involved, and you never know who people run with. But one thing is for sure: sharks and lowlifes and hustlers, they love entertainers, they love athletes, and the worlds ain't that far apart. So big body won't be a big Willie, and you know who come through. Now I think Shaq's man put some hands on somebody, and it would have led back, but it got settled. Money talk, and people walk. But what you don't see, you'll be very surprised at what goes on. There's a lot of street beats and things that go on that you don't see because a lot of it controls the entertainment industry. And there's money to be made. And I am in a conspiracy theorist, especially when we talk about basketball and so on and so forth, because David Stern, there's a lot of stuff that went down that you'd be very surprised of. But anyway, yeah, the Shaq got ran out of LA or Street Gang was on Bomb First, courtesy of Reggie Wright Jr. talking about it. I think it's still relevant because I think that when I see certain things that still go on to this day, got me thinking there's more than just meets the eye because everything ain't just because, oh, they're frustrated with the team and that. There's street politics. Cats, though, people don't think that. Because you think, well, how come they messing with so and so and so? But see, you'd be surprised. There's heat everywhere you go. And there's people that are watching everything. And they know things that you like and spots you are. And there are rules. There are rules. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share the video if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, stay true. And peep out that Reggie Wright Jr. video on Bomb First about the real reason why Shaq got out of LA. Because there's a lot going on. And it ain't just simple as that. And it sounds very credible. I believe Reggie on that one. He used to be 5-0, and I believe him. Because I didn't heard stuff about entertainers and people having to, you got to check in LA. I wouldn't do it. I ain't going out to LA, but they got rules. They got people that run that. They run that. I'm out.